Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Cameron Sullenberger from Revival Theater Company. And Cameron, when last we looked, you were getting ready to do an event called Rising Stars, which was going to feature young talent, online event because of the pandemic. And you and I had a delightful conversation about this the day before the giant windstorm.
Right.
So,
It's surreal. The windstorm kind of took it all out.
so
But
take
yeah,
two.
take two. I've assembled about let's see, maybe 26 singers, and we've divided them into an act one and an act two. And this is the act one offering that is going to take place on October the 25th at 7 p.m. And if you go to our website, there'll be a link about it.
So you had kind of put all this together back in August.
Yes.
How many kids are involved?
This time it's 15.
And has the lineup changed at all from our first go around, our first try in August?
Yeah, some of the kids, they graduated and they left Cedar Rapids because, believe it or not, some of these universities, they're going to have class. So some of them left to go back to college, and they said, "Hey, can we hit you back in the spring?" And I said yes. And then I added some diversity. I think that since we talked last, a lot has happened in our world, not just the uh, events being canceled, but I wanted to be more sensitive to people of color. And so I reached out and I thought, you know what, they need an opportunity too. So though I'm sad that we got interrupted the first time, it's actually been a really great experience to ask some other types of performers to be a part of this.
Did you just reach out to young performers that you knew? Was there an audition process? How did you go about discovering those maybe you didn't know quite so well?
I just started making phone calls of performers that I had seen in other theater productions because at the beginning of this whole idea of doing Rising Stars, to be safe, I was picking most of my performers out of my studio. This time, it's a nice mixture of kids that are new to me, families that are new to me. Um, I have sisters that are both in college studying theater and have been in productions with RTC. So it was just me getting on the phone and making some phone calls and saying, "Hey, what are your kids doing right now? Would they like an opportunity?" And it's just been a wonderful experience for me. Wonderful.
The pandemic, as you know, we've said over and over again, especially on this show as we talk about the performing arts a lot on the Culture Crawl, the pandemic has hit students and of all, people of all ages, but students in particular
Yeah.
whose interest is in, music and theater, any kind of performance. It's, the pandemic is just tailor made to make them miserable because it takes away almost everything that they're going to school for.
Correct. A lot of them are having to learn online, and online learning is not a bad thing, but when it comes to the fine arts, becomes very difficult. It turns an art form into something that's a little more clinical. And I know that kids are really struggling with that. On top of that, they just don't have anywhere to show off their talent. They have no outlet. So hopefully, by doing this, even though it's not live, they'll feel like they have a place to show off. And that's great.
So you're pre-recording the numbers with each of the students, and this will be live. They're going to be working with you, right?
Yes, they will be performing live. We will record it and then edit it into a full program like we did with adults back in May.
Did you work with them on picking the numbers for their performance, or was this something that they brought to you? How did the repertoire get picked?
Well, the younger performers, a lot of them, we talked about it together and tried to find something that really was a fit for them because they wanted to put their best foot forward, especially with hundreds of people watching. The older students that are in college and are studying music theater and whatnot, they kind of said, what about this? They came with their music already ready to go. So it was kind of a mixture.
What's the age range of the performers?
I have somebody in the 5th grade and all the way up to just graduated from college. So I that's about 10 to 22.
Do any of the, you said that the repertoire is kind of a mix between what the students brought and, and some suggestions that you had working with them, particularly with the younger students. Any surprises in that mix? Somebody brought you a piece or you agreed on a piece that you thought, oh boy, I never thought we'd be doing this.
Oh gosh. Uh no, not this time around. The pieces that they're doing are all pretty are pieces that I know, except there was a duet between two of the girls, um, and they kind of had the idea of putting two songs together, one from The Wizard of Oz and one from The Wiz, and they actually performed that for the derecho Concert of Hope. So it kind of killed two birds with one stone, and I got to put those songs together. So that was a challenge. I wasn't expecting that.
Didn't anticipate you'd have to arrange a brand new medley, huh?
No, I didn't. I didn't. But it was a great idea, and they did it, and it went off really, really well. And they're excited to be a part of this. So, yeah.
Any other, I know it's a little bit like picking your favorite child, but any other highlights or things that you think in particular we should be watching for when we watch the show?
Yeah, I think it. One thing that I really wanted them to be aware of was that you can communicate to an audience through a camera. And I think what you're going to find is that they are performing way above their age. They're not just standing there in recital format singing a song. It's so important in musical theater that it becomes that they're actor singers. And so I think what you're going to see is, oh, wow, that was really great. How old is she? And then you're going to kind of go, oh, she's in middle school. So I think that has been uh, a challenge for them, and it's also been a goal of mine that it not just be another recital type format online that people are not interested in. You'll really find that these young people are performing beyond their age. They're really developing into actor singers.
It's an online virtual performance called Rising Stars, October 25th, 7 o'clock.
7 p.m.
But it'll be done, even though you're going to pre-record, it will be done live as if it was happening at, in that moment. Yes.
Yeah, it'll be edited into one concert format.
And how do people access it?
You will go to revivaltheatercompany.com and we will have a link on that page. Also, if you happen to be on Facebook, we will be putting updates of the performers and a little blurb about what they're saying about it. And we'll always have the link. So there'll be hyperlinks that we have out there. But the easiest way would probably go to our Facebook page, Revival Theater Company, or go to revivaltheatercompany.com. And remember, theater with an R-E. And we'll have the links there so that it'll take you to the Facebook platform.
Cameron, thanks for being with me today.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:20 a.m. or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture or using your favorite podcast app. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.